Welcome to the Bandana Podcast, where we're calling a spade. Dijonai Carrington purposefully poked Caitlin Clark in the eye. Folks, I came out initially saying I don't think it was on purpose, but once you see this angle, it seems clear as day that Dijonai Carrington, Dijonai Mustard, Dijonai Carrot Top Carrington, Dijonais, however you want to call it, this might be one of the dirtiest things I have ever seen in the WNBA. Probably the dirtiest. Worse than Kennedy Carter hip checking her, folks. Poking somebody in the eye is absolutely outrageous. Look at this, right? God! The first time I saw this, I cringed. And every time I see her hands curl down, dig into Caitlin Clark's eye, it is clear to me that this was purposeful. It is clear to me that Dijonai Carrington did this on purpose. It's clear to me that Kathy Engel Braindead, the dumbass commissioner, the fool who is in charge of the WNBA, Kathy Engel Braindead needs to step in and put a stop to this nonsense. Kathy, if you think that this is okay, you are an absolute idiot and aren't deserving. Well, you're definitely not deserving to be a commissioner. We all know what kind of hire that was. If you think Dijonai Carrington literally putting her fake nails into Caitlin Clark's eyes is something that the WNBA should be okay with, you are an idiot. There is nothing okay about this. Time after time again, we see Caitlin Clark get targeted. And yes, I'm coming after you too. I left you off the hook in the postgame. But if this is something that you are okay with as a girlfriend, you, Nalyssa Sack of Potato Smith, you need to get the hell out of Indiana too. You may say all the nice things in post-game press conferences, but you go on Twitter and you tweet like a victim. You go on Twitter and you act delusional. You go on Twitter and you say things that make people believe you think an offense should be ran around you. Nalyssa Smith, you are a sack of potatoes. You are worthless. You don't deserve to be in the WNBA. And there is absolutely no space for you or Dijonai Carrington in this league. Dijonai is not a trash player like you, but Dijonai, this is straight up dirty basketball. There is no place for blatant eye pokes in the WNBA. Coming out of this game, folks, I never saw this view. I thought that this was unaccidental, but look how she curls her fingers down directly to poke Caitlin Clark in the eye. And of course, Kathy Engel Braindead and her referee staff don't call a foul on this. This is blatant, this is unacceptable, and this needs to be penalized. This is blatant, this is unacceptable, and this needs to be penalized. Folks, I will bring this up a little bit more for you. Look how she just curls her hands and digs it in to Caitlin Clark's eyes. She literally curls her hand and she digs it in to Caitlin Clark's eye. And the referees didn't call a foul on this. We didn't go back and review this. Folks, they gave Kennedy Carter a flagrant after hip checking Caitlin Clark when they only called it a common foul. This is as flagrant can be. This isn't a flagrant one. This is flagrant two. This isn't a flagrant one. This is a flagrant two. If this is college football, this is considered targeting at its finest. Plays like this have no place in a league that they say is trying to grow. You come out and you say Indiana Fever fans are the worst fans, maybe because you are a dirty player. Maybe because if you play dirty games, you win dirty prizes. You act like the worst of the worst, you're going to attract the worst of the worst. People are looking at this in sickness. The fact that this is actually happening. This is sick right here. And of course, Sack of Potatoes over here is going to go home to you at night. You guys are going to lay your head on the same pillow and you're going to talk about how you decided to poke your fingers in Caitlin Clark's eyes. This is why Nalyssa Smith has no place on this team. This is why relationships between players in the league have no place in any type of business. Folks, try date your coworker. See that how that happens with your boss. You need to hide that because everybody knows that it's not right. It's not acceptable. It's not okay. These two people see this eye poke and they laugh about it. But of course, Caitlin Clark, being the trooper that she is, she decides to take the high road on her way out. She decides not to be a bum like Dijonai Carrington, a thug like Dijonai Carrington, a ratchet, ignorant individual like Dijonai Carrington. She decides to take the high road when speaking about this. She probably knows it's intentional. She probably knows this was purposeful. She probably knows that there has no room for this game, but she says, of course she hit me in the eye, but I don't think it affected me that much. Let's take a listen.
Caitlin, could you tell us a little bit about your eye, the hit, if it affected you, how it affected you, and through the rest of the game? Thanks.
Yeah, obviously got me pretty good in the eye. I don't think it affected me. Honestly, I felt like I got good shots. They just didn't go down. And obviously a tough time for that to happen. Like I got some really good looks. I felt I had three wide open threes in the first half that like you usually make. So that's tough, but I felt like I battled and tried my best. Took care of the ball better than I usually do, which is a positive. But overall, like coach said in the locker room, like we were down 3 the first quarter, down 5 second quarter, and then lost by 3 in the third. Like we were right there, and I felt like we just played a crappy game. Like the flow of the game was really bad. I don't know if that was the referee, and it's probably partly us because we struggled to get stops at times, but also like the clock getting messed up. It was just one thing after the next. But yeah, overall, like it didn't bother me. Obviously, it didn't feel too good when it happened, but it is what it is.
She knows this was dirty. She knows this was purposeful. Folks, if you guys didn't see Jason Whitlock's video about the emails that he received from a mom in Iowa talking about the stuff that Caitlin Clark had to go through at the middle school level, at the high school level, the AAU level, the travel circuit in Iowa. If you didn't see this video from Jason Whitlock, I encourage everybody to go watch that. It completely changed. It didn't change my entire perspective, but it added new perspective that helps me formulate my thoughts. So I appreciate that mom, whoever she is, to bringing that out into the public. But this is as clear as day. Folks, we are digging into Caitlin Clark's eye socket. Again, we are digging into Caitlin Clark's eye socket with fake nails, claws, dirty basketball. We reach up and we dig down. You reach up and you come down. You don't go like this. You don't do that, folks. You don't do that unless your name is Dijonai Carrington. Then you stoop low. Then you stoop to the lowest of the lows and you play dirty. And Caitlin Clark has been dealing with this all season long before she even got to the WNBA. And unfortunately, she has a teammate like Sack of Potato Smith that lies in bed with this person. Smith needs to go. Dijonai needs to get suspended. There is no place at all for this in the WNBA. If you think people are going to sit around and watch this, you have another thing coming. But let me guess, Kathy Engel, brain dead, that's what you want. You don't want the new fans to stay around here. You don't want new fans, Caitlin Clark fans, to pay attention to this because it's such a trash product. Because you have ignorant, ratchet individuals who think playing dirty is acceptable. Because you are an idiot. Because you are brain dead. You wish you guys could just beat up Caitlin Clark in the closet and nobody will pay attention. It's not going to happen. You're beating up Caitlin Clark in plain, broad daylight. You're targeting this individual. I have no sympathy for anything coming Dijonai Carrington's way. No sympathy for it at all. The energy you give out is the energy you receive. And if you're going to give out being a dirty player who pokes players in the eyes, folks, there's no basketball play about this. And gee, what a shocker. It's Dijonai Carrington of all people. Gee, who is not surprised? Again, I apologize to Caitlin Clark. I apologize to some of my subscribers who thought I was being hard. on that play, but it's clear as day. This was purposeful, this was intentional, and this is not okay. Is Kathy Engel brain dead going to suspend Dijonai Carrington? Of course not, because she's Kathy Engel brain dead for a reason. Her brain is dead. Her brain isn't working. She has nothing going on in between the ears. We know why you got the job, Kathy. Because you didn't earn it. Read between the lines, folks. The Ben Daniel Podcast, we're calling a spade a spade. Dijonai Carrington is a dirty, dirty, dirty player. Nalyssa Smith is a sack of potatoes. You thought you got off the hook, didn't you, Nalyssa? No, you didn't. You condone this. You're all right with this. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. It's the Ben Daniel Podcast. I appreciate all the support. Take it easy.